All right, you are listening to an episode of Transparency and Merit. My name is Joe, and I'm here with Brian, and he calls himself Jamal X. What is this dude all about? What the heck am I
Well,
looking at?
yeah, this dude is all about. He's basically all about political violence. Maybe even a little bit of narcissistic violence. He might, there are plenty of things that we're going to get into about this gentleman who calls himself Jamal X. Now, I could not find I think the video is in that range of things where he says, "My name is Jamal X," but at some point he did call himself Jamal X, and we will be looking at that. Hey, Joe, did you already put this in our Discord server already?
Yeah, that already goes in. Antifa activist charged with felony hate crime for anti-Semitic attacks.
Yeah. Now, I first heard of this person when the Proud Boys had their Patriot Prayer, and Jamal X was one of the loudest people there. He's a hypocrite. He seems like a bit of a hypocrite. And also, I've looked on his, and I don't know if it's up anymore, but I have looked on this gentleman's, I shouldn't even call him a gentleman because he seems like a very violent, misguided, myopic person. But I have looked at this person's Instagram page, and he does claim, he did claim, or one of the claims is that he is bipolar. And the way he was acting seemed very manic. Could be completely wrong.
Well, all you have to do is look at his tattoos, which are our image on our page right now is showing. I mean, these is this guy even real? Like, look at these tattoos. It's completely illegible, like just all over the place. A woman hunched over, die for something. Oh man, what is this dude about? Whoa.
And the thing is, people are supporting this kind of behavior. And
who's falling for this? Holy crap.
Yeah. These kind of groups attract, very sociopathic, very mentally ill, and very mentally deranged people.
Highly dogmatic, too.
Oh, yeah. Very dogmatic. And, sociopathic and just insane.
Oh, let's see. What did he do here? Let's see what this article says. An Antifa activist with a history of violence and threatening behavior across the Pacific Northwest has been arrested on a felony hate crime charge in Seattle. He's accused in Washington state of hate crimes and criminal harassment against Shmuel Levitin, a rabbi, old Shmuel. According to court documents, Williams maliciously and intentionally followed, threatened to kill, and assaulted the men in multiple attacks in October because of their perceived religion. Levitin, I'll just read this paragraph here. So he went down during Sukkot, which is a Jewish holiday, on October 11th. Williams allegedly approached them and shouted, "Jews, Jews, Jews, give me your money." He then said he had a gun and was going to kill them both. Both Levitin and Block have beards and peyotes or sideburns and were wearing yarmulkes. Levitin is a rabbi at the Chabad in Seattle. So, you returned.
And the thing is, the Proud Boys, and they have had anti-Semites and I guess a few Nazis. And I don't think Patriot Prayer is necessarily, there are people who are hooked up with Patriot Prayer and the Proud Boys. But the Proud Boys have disavowed their the people who are Nazis and Confederates and so-called white supremacists. But Antifa, of course, they're a hard figuration of groups, but there are certain spokesmen, and I don't hear too many people out loud basically condemning this gentleman by the name of Jamal Oscar Williams, a.k.a. or the man who calls himself Jamal X. Now, I did send you a video of that man. If you want to play that real quick, and then I'll just say, hey, we've seen enough. Just to get a flavor, and if you want to stop at any time, just to get a flavor of who this guy is.
Fuck Donald Trump! Fuck Trump! Fuck Trump! Come to bring it out! Come to bring it out! We didn't come to talk, we come to bring it out! Bring it out! We didn't come to talk, we come to bring it out! Bring it out! Where you at, bitch?
All right. Yeah, he's something else. He looked fired up, to say the least. Very menacing looking. No shirt required. Are you muted? I'm not hearing you.
About that, Joe, I had myself on mute while I kind of just play it along. But again, yeah, this guy, is very menacing. He's basically, look, this guy is someone who lives for drama, as a lot of these Antifa groups do. They live for drama. They're very angry. And basically they see themselves as victims, and they see themselves as standing up to evil. And they're very fanatical. And they believe that the best way to deal with what they see is any kind of Nazi or fascist is to assault. And they believe that they're defending themselves by, preemptively striking these people, many of whom are nonviolent, most of whom are not the aggressors in the case. And my thing is, I wonder if Jamal X is able to get crowdfunding for his criminal behavior. Well, the rest of the Proud Boys, who it looks like they were involved in self-defense, maybe it went too far, but they were not the initial aggressors, being kicked off of all of these crowdfunding sites. And Antifa, much of them are defended by the Lawyers Guild. So is this really equal protection under the law? We are having groups here who are basically threatening people, attacking them. And when you go to defend yourself, you're the one that is arrested, and the other person is not charged with anything. I mean, that one example, the one thing that we did, Ian, I forget his name, but we did a show on him, and actually they wouldn't put that on Facebook. Facebook would not.
They wouldn't allow to be promoted. Right?
Was not allowed to be promoted, and that was it was. He was one of the, he was in Portland, and God, I forget now. I forget his name, but I'm just looking here, time management, and I'm looking here, folks. With me, folks, while I look at, Ian Kramer, hero or villain or something in between, and Facebook did not. I was refused a promotion. And the thing of it is, when you can't even talk about someone who's facing criminal action and criminal time, they can't defend themselves. But the group that they're fighting against, Antifa, the group that they have beef against, they're the ones who get. They're the ones who get help, who get legal help, and also get sponsored. It seems really against the 14th Amendment. I could be wrong here. And I'm just curious if Jamal X is getting is getting
Let's go.
Yeah.
This
Sorry
guy's
about
ridiculous.
that.
This guy's ridiculous. So you're saying he's not getting fair treatment?
Yeah, I'm saying, well, the system is not treating him fair, and I mean, it seems like the anti-racist, the fanatical anti-racist, have a stranglehold on our system, and they can accuse anyone of what they consider to be racism or white supremacy or being a Nazi. And, you know, the thing of it is, even the Nazis had the Nuremberg trials, you know, could defend themselves on whether they were doing evil or not. There is no, you can't defend yourself. I mean, the court of public opinion shuts you down. It doesn't seem very fair. So that's all I wanted to say about that. I was going to touch on the case, the show that we did last time, which was Nathaniel Woods. Brian Allen Logan does a video about him doing a little more detail about like why he was executed. And I don't think it's what you think. And it's like a lot of people are making more out of it than, I mean, they're putting spin on it that really shouldn't, that shouldn't necessarily be there, but that's just my opinion on that. Joe, do you have anything else to add?
No, I think we're good on this one.
Yeah, we were going to go into the Lawyers Guild and who they are and stuff, but I think I want to save that for a later date. But just to remind you guys that some of these violent groups are given protection, and the groups that defend themselves against them are not. And the police seem to also be standing down and also be protecting them as well, because they're doing, it looks like they're doing funny stuff with the prosecution of groups that defend themselves against Antifa and these other radical groups. If the radical groups on the left, they seem to be getting defended. And if they're so-called right, any kind of conservative groups, it just goes to show you that the left allows certain groups, and the left is allowed to get away with things that the right could never get away with. And if you disagree with me, tell me why you disagree.
You might get some disagreement on this. You might. But I like to hear it. Let's see if we get some comments.
Yeah, you know what? Not too many people have left comments on our page right now, and it's probably still growing. We want it to grow more. We want to have a debate out there that's, like, hey, we're interested, transparency and merit. We're interested in all forms of ideas, and you can't really have transparency and merit with the kind of censorship that's going on today, Joe. And that's just my opinion on that. So like and subscribe if you like it, subscribe, and also leave a comment below.
Yeah. Don't forget trickery in the media is another real thing to be concerned about here. How much of this is a media creation? How much of it is real? I mean, are the people in Seattle truly afraid of this guy running around beating them? I'm sure not a cool thing. So who knows? I'd like to see some more information on this guy as we move along.
How easy would it be to find some manic guy to harass people and then put him in the spotlight? But like I said, you know what? There seems to be, this is a cover for people that are manic. And you know what? I know we were going to end this, but I was getting into a discussion with somebody online, and I said, Portland, by the way, from my understanding, has the largest concentration of methamphetamine users and addicts.
That's right.
And I'm wondering what percent of Antifa members are methamphetamine abusers. It certainly looks like a lot of them are like just bipolar and just really manic and just kind of crazed. I'm just curious to what percent are also methamphetamine addicts. That's just my thought. All right, Joe, I think that'll do it.
We'll end it here. Make sure you subscribe at very least.
Yeah.